Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and this is some interesting Star Wars rumor news that's coming out right now. Possibility of Boba Fett movie featuring Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo. Now, I did call that. I have said that in the past. I said that in order for Boba Fett to work, in order to tie into the Empire Strikes Back and why Boba Fett would know how to track down Han so well, would be wise to show them working together, even at odds in regards to Jabba. And it turns out, as far as this rumor goes, or this actual admittance by a writer who's worked on the Legacy or the Legends books before, that it's entirely possible. Now, it says here that the Boba Fett spinoff movie could feature an appearance by Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo. From the looks of things, Lucasfilm is keen on keeping the fan favorite bounty hunter return to the big screen. They nearly officially announced Boba Fett project from Josh Trank back in three years ago, but pulled the plug prior to the panel. Then it was reported that Logan director is going to be calling the shots on Boba Fett with a co-script from Simon Kinberg. However, the film has yet to be confirmed. And as we know right now, with Solo underperforming and the Last Jedi controversy and everything else surrounding Star Wars right now, that it might be a little bit off. It might be a little bit off for this to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like they're reformatting. But by bringing in Alden Ehrenreich and bringing in Solo to this movie would, I think, be the best possible move for the franchise, because for one, it is pitting two legacy characters against each other. Again, it's a high risk, high reward situation. But here's what's going on. So according to this, author Daniel Keyes Moran revealed that he previously heard from Disney about the possibility of adapting his story, The Last One Standing, into a Boba Fett movie. Now, this story is from Legends, and it explored Boba's history, including his rivalry with Han Solo. And again, that is something that I think if they focused on that, I think if they used that as the key driving force between everything, tying in Solo to the Boba Fett movie, then leading into Empire Strikes Back, that could, if done well, again, high risk, high reward, if done well, would blow fans' minds. Would blow fans' minds if done well. Again, James Mangold is a fantastic director, and I think he could definitely nail it. He could definitely do it, I think, and have them go at odds with one another. Now, the big problem with this, though. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me finish this up, and then I'll get to my thoughts on this one. He says here, this is Daniel Keyes Moran. I've had a guy at Disney email me a couple times over the years regarding Lucasfilm adapting Last One Standing into a Fett movie. Not asking permission, they own the works, just letting me know they were thinking about it. So that was kind. But after Solo stiffed, apparently there's some question about the Fett movie being made. So yeah, he'll have clearly a greater inside track than the rest of us will. But if he says here that he's had a guy at Disney email him a couple times over the years, we did know that they've been mulling this around for 3 years, at least for a Boba Fett movie. It makes sense that this is the story that they are, in fact, trying to focus on. This is the one that they are, in fact, trying to hone down on. And again, with Solo not doing as well as they wanted it to, but people ultimately, I think, more than not liking Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, and people really liking Donald Glover as Lando, we could make that the next film, bring them in for the Boba Fett movie, or at least have a cameo from Lando, something along those lines. That could definitely do well for keeping that part of the franchise open and alive, and maybe going a bit further to maybe kind of retcon some stuff from Solo, maybe kind of turning this one into an unofficial Solo sequel. And Alden Ehrenreich has signed a 3-picture deal with Disney, or Lucasfilm, I should say, in order to make this movie to play this character. So that's something that could ultimately work out here. But it does go on to say here that in order for it to fit the canon, Mangold would not be able to do a direct adaptation. The story was published in '96, well before the prequel trilogy, and of course, obviously with Boba Fett and Jango Fett. But that being said, Mangold's film could draw inspiration from the short story and incorporate certain elements. The Disney-era Star Wars films haven't been averse to pulling from Legends in the past, including several examples in Solo, such as Enfys Nest, Cloud Rider's Gang, and a few other aspects as well. Bosk was mentioned in the movie, right? And that was, I mean, granted, that was not pulled necessarily from Legends, but it was definitely pulled from Empire. So still pulling from certain things and everything else. And so Lucasfilm, but they could go another direction here. And but it does finish up by saying, agreeing with me, if they do decide to do this one, and it would be a good way of utilizing Han. People liked him. People want to see more of him. And I think the more we get out of Han, the better it is. I think the more we see him in the role, the more he's given the opportunity to play the character and shine as a character. I do think that ultimately the more people will eventually kind of warm up to Solo. At the end of the day, and I'm making this wild prediction now, but at the end of the day, right, Solo will end up just squeaking over the break-even line for Disney. Squeaking over the line. I think that in a couple of years it's going to be looked at a lot better. I think it's going to be revered a lot better, and it's not going to have necessarily the bad taste from The Last Jedi on people's mouths, or the current culture war surrounding Star Wars that's happening online. I think if that stuff ends up going away, Kathleen Kennedy steps down, they change up the leadership over there, and they make Star Wars great again. It's going to get me in trouble for saying that. But if they do that, then I think people would maybe warm up to Solo overall. Because here's the thing. I really like the movie. I like the character. I like the actor in the role. I'd love to see more of it. And look, I'm always going to have a positive approach to Star Wars. You may not. I always will. Even when I'm critical of it, I still want it to be great. And I'm still going to try to think of ways to be positive and hopefully put that out there into the universe, and that maybe it will happen. Because I feel it's better to be positive than to always hate on it. Unless it needs to be, which, let's face it, anything involving Kathleen Kennedy generally does. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that they should just drop it dead? Don't do Fett, don't do Solo, just let it go, focus on the future, move away from Skywalkers after Episode 9, focus on whole new characters, whole new adventures, or go back to Knights of the Old Republic? These are things I'm curious to know. Let me know down in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. If you guys like it, be sure to toss it a thumbs up, subscribe, check me out on Patreon if you want to support the channel that way, or just turn off that pesky ad block. And if you just want to see more content from me, you can do so right now.